You're welcome back. I'm Ifechukwu with the news. Now, we begin with good news this morning from right here in River State. If you are on the lookout for a teaching job, you have reasons to be happy this morning and pay attention to this story. Governor Siminala has approved the appointment of teachers recruitment across the state. This comes in a statement from the chairman of the River State Universal Basic Education Board, Sam Oge, who says the move fulfills the governor's promise to address manpower shortages in public schools. The governor has also directed the revalidation of the 1,000 teachers recruited in 2023. All affected teachers are expected to report to the UBE board office at Ilichi Beach today, Wednesday, December 3rd, at 10 a.m. with their appointment and posting letters. Meanwhile, some stakeholders are urging residents not to interpret the House of Assembly's concerns about the condition of public schools as political. Lagos-based political analyst Liberato Shoma says lawmakers are simply carrying out their oversight duties and that the assembly represents the people.
Your agenda is not in line and in tandem with the aspirations of my constituency. It is my responsibility as a member of the House of Assembly to raise it. The governor must not be seen to be working alone without a synergy from the State House of Assembly. If his agenda is too one-sided, definitely not about any time that the House of Assembly calls the governor to order, that's trying to obey the governor.
Chairman of Civil Society Organizations in River State, Sunny Dada, agrees, adding that lawmakers should be encouraged to raise issues that improve governance.
These are not things we should call crises. We are calling them crises because we are not used to viral democracy. These are features of that viral democracy where there is supposed to be checks and balance. We should rather encourage the assembly to play their oversight role. However, devoid of malice, being remote controlled by certain forces as we saw during the crisis. It's not a crisis situation per se, so that the executive will know that have an assembly that can back when there is need for them to back.
He also says the figures referenced by the Speaker were part of a response to a request for financial records that the executive has not made public. Still on education, but in Muonyili, where 4 people are missing after another early morning attack on Monday at an off-campus residence used by students of River State University Muonyili campus. Now, a student who escaped says the incident happened around 2 a.m. She says the attackers were armed, shot and killed a security dog and opened fire as she crawled out of her room to escape. She also claims her father contacted the Muonyili Police Division but received no response.
He was running after me, so he shot me. I couldn't even look at who was shooting. I was more focused on escaping. So I was running and the person just went back to my compound. So I was running and the son of the bush came out from that run after me. I didn't know what to do. I had to run fast and the gate person was supposed to open for me.
The River State Police Command is yet to comment, but the management of RSU says it will issue a statement soon. In the meantime, the youth leader of Muonyili community, Israel Ifechukwu, has named suspects he believes are behind student kidnappings in the area. He says some suspects are from a neighboring community and that Muonyili has given the Rumodogo community a deadline to identify and produce them.
My name is Israel Ifechukwu, a youth leader from Muonyili community. When we came back, we discovered that the guys are from Rumodogo, and one of the suspects named is Bani from Rumodogo. And one of our brothers too, who happens to be the suspect, his name is Bobo Uchendu, who have also handed him over to police. We went to Rumodogo too. We saw the CDC chairman, the youth leader, and the paramount ruler. So we gave them from that morning till 3 o'clock that they should provide those people. If not, honestly, we will revenge.
The son of the community's paramount ruler, Prince Chidi Uchendu, says locals are making effort to rescue the abducted students, while those living around the campus say they are becoming increasingly afraid. From Muonyili, let's take a trip to Ikwere local government area. As Ikwere local government continues working to prevent farmer-herder clashes and keep food production steady, Council Chairman Charles Swobodo is urging cattle owners and dealers to set up ranches and avoid damaging crops. He made the call on Tuesday when the National Association of Cattle Dealers, Processors and Marketers of Nigeria visited his office in Ifechukwu. He says his administration is ready to support them with land for ranching.
I know you also agree with me because it's very, very painful. People who are from here, our only source of income is farming. You don't imagine when you see those cattle enter those places and bulldoze them. So one of the painful ones is where somebody will have to go and uproot this cassava and use knife and cut it for the cow. It's very, very painful. The cattle owners itself, those who are doing the business, are they saying that business is business?
Obodo also condemned the growing issue of strangers invading farmlands under the guise of hunting, saying some of them have attacked farmers. He says he will formally alert the River State Commissioner of Police, CP Olubenga Adeboju, so the practice can be stopped.
There's other grooming issues that those who migrate and join us here. There's a problem. Some are not with cattle. From bush, they said they are hunters. I don't know how that is possible for you to hunt in another person's forest. They're having numbers of it like 100. And that's the challenge I'm facing now. But when I'm going to see communal police. So it doesn't sound like we are lifting up problem with people. They must coordinate themselves. They meet one in the bush, attacking. I don't know how to handle that. And you know our people. And what is it they're waiting for? They want to wish. We have to say, go out there, save yourself. What I can do? It will cause a lot of problems.
Well, our correspondent reports that the state chairman of the National Association of Cattle Dealers, Processors and Marketers of Nigeria, God's Power, Amadieke, says the association is ready to work with the council to end grazing. He's also asking for the chairman's support to help the group secure a ranch. Still talking security, but from Tinubu and agencies to step up their operations and deliver a stronger result in the fight against insecurity. He gave the order during a closed-door meeting with the security chiefs at the State House in Abuja, a session that lasted for more than an hour. Now, after the meeting, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, said the discussions were engaging and that the President issued new directives to reinforce ongoing operations. General Oluyede also assures Nigerians that security agencies are improving coordination to ensure a peaceful Utah across the country. In a related story, President Bola Tinubu has nominated Christopher Musa as Minister of Defense. The nomination has been sent to Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, confirmed the nomination in a statement on Tuesday. Meanwhile, a security expert, Ayuba Tanimu, says President Bola Tinubu has made a strong decision by appointing the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, as a new Minister of Defense. Tanimu is a retired DSS officer, and he told our correspondent Siobiruwari that General Musa has the experience and capacity to confront the country's security challenges. He says the role of defense minister should be handled by someone who truly understands security and believes President Tinubu has finally corrected what he calls a major gap in the nation's security structure.
Sensitive position like this shouldn't have been toyed with in a way that's been in the case in Nigeria. It's not the position that you want to reward somebody with. But here we have found ourselves. We just hope that from this very moment, this mistake will not be repeated again. It's the Minister of Defense now. Benefit of hindsight and his knowledge as a professional. But I believe Nigeria is going to benefit from his knowledge. The Chief of Defense Staff, he already knows what the armed forces want. So with his knowledge and where it is going to, I believe it's going to go a long way.
The security consultant also says what Nigeria needs most is strong political will to fight insecurity, not just intelligence gathering. According to him, the lack of that political will is one reason the situation has continued to worsen.
Before this current age, we have the problem of lack of intelligence and we have the men. But currently, intelligence is not the problem. There are more than enough intelligence, but do we have the political will to fight it? Our Nigerian intelligence agencies are capable and on top of this situation, especially because I belong to that class. If we put politics and everyone aside and now have the political will, this problem can be overcome.
Tanimu is also advising the new defense minister to push for serious investment in the police, noting that they are responsible for internal security and need proper equipment to do their job effectively.
It's not a question of capacity or capability. When issues like this are politicized, definitely there is going to be bound to be some negative outcome. We don't even need the whole military to go after these people. Equip the Nigerian police alone because this is their original responsibility. Equip the Nigerian police and give them the political backing that is required. They are capable. We have enough men. We have capable hands. Solve this very problem.
We're not done with security. This time, let's tell you that U.S. lawmakers say the Nigerian government is not doing enough to stop rising insecurity and killings across the country. Speaking at a joint congressional briefing on alleged Christian persecution, several lawmakers warned the perpetrators operate with impunity and vow to hold Nigeria accountable. Now, they backed President Donald Trump's decision to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, insisting the government must disarm militias and protect vulnerable communities. Officials from the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom also criticized Nigeria for ignoring early warnings about attacks. Experts told the briefing that continued U.S. pressure is needed to push Nigeria to tackle jihadist groups like Boko Haram and strengthen internal security. And back here in the country, reactions continue to the ambassadorial nominee recently sent to the Senate. Now, a professor of international relations, Ben Nanen, says nominating controversial figures may be a way of rewarding supporters and keeping critics at arm's length. Speaking to our correspondent Ifechukwu, he warns that the government should be careful as controversial ambassadorial picks risk being rejected by the countries where they are posted.
So what some presidents do is just to send them away as ambassadors, a way of silencing them, and also to reward government praising carpet crossers who have crossed from other parties into APC because they wanted to get something out of the party. Because, for instance, a lot of countries, they reject ambassadors. They sometimes refuse to turn down the accreditation of the people appointed if they feel that they're too controversial or they represent a particular standpoint.
When we return from this break, we'll tell you the latest on land grabbing issues from Echi, plus an allegation against the chairman of Ahoda East local government. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The chairman of Eche Local Government Council, Chima Boniface Njoko, has received new petitions and a full briefing from the Anti-Land Grabbing, Land Acquisition Management and Development Committee during its weekly sitting on Tuesday. The committee, led by Muonyili, reviewed fresh petitions and reopened pending cases for hearing and settlement. In a statement, the committee says the council chairman issued a strong warning to anyone involved in land transactions, telling them not to sell or lease land to cattle herders. He insists Eche local government area has no land designated for cattle rearing and says violators will face serious penalties, including possible forfeiture of property. Njoko also directed real estate firms and private developers to get proper verification and clearance from the committee before starting any project, adding that any equipment used for land transactions without approval will be seized, destroyed, or converted to council property. Committee Chairman Muonyili commended the council for providing an enabling environment for its work. He says the support has strengthened effort to curb insecurity, land grabbing, and disputes across Eche. He adds that more than 15 petitions were received at the sitting and that about 5 pending cases should be concluded before mid-December 2025. Moving on to Ahoda East now, the Orashi National Congress is accusing the council chairman Solomon Abuba of diverting relief materials meant for flood victims. President General of ONC, Emini Ibe, told our correspondent that after monitoring the items since their delivery, he was shocked to learn that they were distributed without notifying him. He also alleges that victims at the IDP camp received too little, while the remaining items went to political allies. He wants a full audit of the process.
We are surprised to note that yesterday the local government chairman front committee distributed the relief material to their political colonies and their supporters in the world. Some persons are at the IDP camp in Ahoda East. They need about 20 bedsheets. They only gave them 10. The people who needed it, they don't give. They now share it among their supporters in the local government area. And I'm very surprised. This is not what the relief material is meant for.
But the chief press secretary to the chairman, Hamilton Moses, denies the claims, saying the items were shared with verified victims after a thorough identification exercise. Now, a group known as the Ogoni Liberation Initiative has given the Rivers State Police Command a 7-day ultimatum to bring in the chairman of Kana local government area, Thomas Barriere, for questioning over the alleged disruption of its September 27th prayer event in Bori. The ultimatum is part of a communique released after the group's stakeholders meeting in Port Harcourt. The communique signed by OLI President Douglas Fabeke and more than 40 others says the police have yet to make any arrest or open an investigation despite receiving a detailed petition shortly after the incident. The group says it is troubling that suspected thugs could disrupt a peaceful prayer meeting, intimidate worshippers, and allegedly assault members while the police remained unresponsive. Now, according to the calm reaction of Dr. Fabeke and his followers prevented the situation from escalating into wider violence in Ogoniland. The group is warning of possible statewide protests alongside civil society groups and partner organizations if the police fail to act within the 7-day deadline. It is also calling on law enforcement to carry out their constitutional duty without bias and ensure that no one is above accountability. The Kana Council chairman has not commented on the matter. Well, as the world marks the International Day of Persons Living with Disability today, December 3rd, one of the key leaders of the community in Rivers State, Collins Abama, is asking Governor Siminalayi Fubara to appoint people with disabilities into his government. Speaking with our correspondent, Ifechukwu, Abama is also urging chairmen of the 23 local government areas to give appointments to persons with disabilities so they feel included in their administrations. He is further appealing for scholarships and offers space for the association and medical support for persons with albinism, among other needs.
Disability-friendly governor to carry persons with disabilities in his administration. If we compare other states like Bayelsa, persons with disabilities are appointed as essays. Please look into it. And other areas we want you to look into is to provide scholarships for indigent students, provide an accommodation as our office complex. We will also beg you to see how you provide some mobility aids, and also remember the albinisms, please.
This year's International Day of Persons with Disabilities is themed Fostering Disability Inclusive Societies for Advancing Social Progress. In entertainment, the Okerewa community has officially unveiled the theme and mascot for the 4th edition of its annual carnival, taking place on December 23rd and 26th, 2025. And all the inauguration of the local organizing committee, marking the formal kickoff of preparations for what is expected to be another vibrant cultural and entertainment showcase. Speaking at the ceremony, Chairman of the Okerewa Community Development Initiative, Benjamin Ngukaya, assured residents and visitors that this year's edition will be a colorful celebration, noting the transformational impact the carnival has had on the community since it began.
We only felt it wise for us to unite our community in the way and manner that we can carry almost everybody along and ensure that the development we were anticipating cuts across. And we started the developmental agenda and program of the community. Like you can see the road infrastructure, you can see the smartphone, the street lights, scholarships. It's also important that for those who have talent in the entertainment industry, we should also look their way. Apart from that, we know what entertainment does.
He explained that this year's theme, Okerewa Elera Carnival 2025, means praise, reflect the community's gratitude for victories and divine guidance despite recent challenges, including legal disputes affecting the host community. Also speaking, the paramount ruler, Chief Comrade Ete Osaro Elechi, expressed satisfaction with the success of past editions, saying Okerewa has become synonymous with growth and progress. He adds that the theme, Elera, mirrors the community's mood of thanksgiving after a difficult year.
We have passed through a lot in the year 2025, so we need to thank God.
Because at the end, we are seeking for peace and God give us peace. Thank you for this name, Okerewa Elera Carnival 2025.
Anywhere you move in River State in Nigeria, you just mention Okerewa, you will hear the answer on Nancy. After then, we went for Okerewa and Fima. And this year, all of us will witness what we are going to see here, and that will be our own name.
Our correspondent reports that the 2025 Okerewa Carnival will feature two major performance nights. Gospel Night on December 23rd will feature Pastor Eugene Ogu and top gospel artists including Prince Emmanuel, Hope Levi, and Edith Chujo. Secular Night on December 26th will showcase Idris Abdul Karim, MK's Alvin Spiff, Dokie, Atman Okon, MC Generation, and other leading entertainers. We go on another short commercial break. When we come back, we have an international story and stories from sport. Do stay with us. Now, 5 hours after of talks between Russia President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Donald Trump's senior negotiator have ended without a breakthrough on a Ukraine peace deal. The Kremlin described the meeting as constructive but said key parts of the U.S.-backed plan remain unacceptable to Russia, even as Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner declined to comment after leaving Moscow. Earlier, Putin warned that proposed changes from Kyiv and Europe were unacceptable and said Russia is ready right now if Europe wants to start a war. Now we go straight to sports. Barcelona came from a goal down to beat league rivals Atletico Madrid by 3-1 in a hard-fought La Liga battle at the Nou Camp on Tuesday night. The win extends Barca's to 4 points over second-place Real Madrid, who play Athletic Club Bilbao later today. In England, Manchester City won with the odd goal in 9 in a pulsating 5-4 win over Fulham. The Sports Gang will be here to bring you more details from 7:05 a.m. on Sports Drive. And that's the size of our package this morning. But before we go, here are the major headlines. We told you that Governor Siminalayi Fubara has approved the appointment of teachers recruited in 2023. He also heard that 4 students are missing after an attack near the RSU's Emoha campus. And we reported that President Bola Tinubu has nominated ex-CDS Christopher Musa as Minister of Defense. The news was edited by Ufoma Ibamono. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.